hit back in second Ezra.
I got a precept for that.
Okay.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 22. And the Lord shall smite Egypt, he shall smite and heal it. Now, when the Lord said he shall smite and heal it, meaning when he, this modern day Egypt that we're in, he's not going to rejuvenate Egypt to flourish again. The way that the Lord's going to heal modern day Egypt, all right, is by thermonuclear fire. That's how this place Egypt is going to be healed, because there's nothing but utter destruction and wickedness that is to come, that comes from this place, man. All right, the Lord's not gonna. He didn't say heal it to bring it back. He meant to utterly destroy it. All right, and they shall return even to the Lord. Now that's referring to who? The children of Israel, because the children of Israel were the first ones to be delivered. All right, we're the ones to be delivered out of ancient Egypt, and are going to be delivered again out of this Egypt. All right, so those are the ones that's going to return, which is the elect, the remnant. All right, and he shall be entreated of them. And the Lord said he's going to be entreated of the elect, meaning that the elect is going to call upon them, and he's going to answer them. Going right back to the book of Hosea. All right, this is going to be my people, and I shall be their power. All right, and they shall say, it is my God. All right, and shall heal them, and that's only coming for the elect of Israel, man. When we delivered out of here, that's when we're going to be finally healed, and we're going to be finally at rest. Isaiah the 14th chapter. Now, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it.
The plague and punishment, okay, meaning judgment. Because contrary to popular belief, there is going to be a judgment all throughout the land. The whole earth is going to be judged. The people that run the earth are going to be judged. The Lord's people, the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, are going to be judged from 2/3 even to the 1/3, because he says he's going to bring everything to light. You're either going to be judged according to your righteousness or according to your wickedness. But this land, America, or Egypt, is going to be judged with harsh plagues. Famine, concentration camps, death, all throughout the streets. ICBM missiles, cannibalism. You're going to have race wars that come up. That's a what's you can consider reminiscent to plagues. Actually.
There's more.
You can read more than that.
They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation, which is going into the so-called natural disasters that the Most High is sending upon this place, man. All right? Why you think there's all types of tornadoes and hurricanes, okay, and whirlwinds that are striking this damn place so frequently nowadays? All right, the bread basket of America, okay, is being affected and damaged. All right, so the Lord that's what it's talking about. The ground mourning. It's not going to yield its fruit. It's not going to yield its increase. All right, the Lord is about to send a physical famine and a spiritual famine. All right, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Reminiscent to what? Kingdom shall rise up against kingdom, nation shall rise up against nation. Speaking to the world or them that dwell therein, that destruction is speaking of race wars. That sword, or the modern day sword, or the gun, because sword is just representing an instrument of weaponry. It can easily be a javelin. Hell, it could be a damn stick. But something that's used to kill another person. They're gonna have swords in their hands, ready to throw down. Continue.
For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Because at that time, that's when the famine is going to kick in. All these signs spoken of for the Lord's coming, and also signs of plagues that the Most High is going to put on America, there's going to be sedition amongst men, so no one's going to regard anybody. Lord willing, touch back in Matthew 24. It's just showing you also precept upon precept, but also hitting that key point for you people that can't get over that stumbling block. The Apocrypha is part of the Holy Bible.
Right.
You know? These are the type of things that people are going to go through in that time. They're not going to care about the powers that be. Your government, which is another reason why Esau is going to instill that martial law. Because he loves order out chaos.
Right.
Or order through chaos. You know, he presents the chaos and he presents the solution. Trying to call himself being the Most High, saying that he controls both spectrums, but the scriptures also say that the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. But these are some of the descriptions of the things that people are going to do in those times, which is coming up very soon. Actually, read verse 16 again.
Okay. 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Okay, they're not going to care about their mayors, their governors, those that hold some political weight in this place, that call the shots, that institute the legislation. They're not going to care about it, because at that time, all is going wrong. At that time, like, hey, with the gas prices going up, it's impending that there's going to be a truck strike. And it's recorded that your supermarkets only have 3 days of life shelf. So once that stops happening, you can best believe that it's going to be even further, because, hey, when there's no famine and then when there's a truck strike, even though there's only 3 days of life support inside of a damn supermarket, you have to keep in mind, there's a lot of people that love to eat, right, especially Jake when they start to panic. So that 3-day life support can very well only last for a couple of hours.
Right.
You know? That's if it's a good supermarket.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right.
You know?
Some supermarkets don't, cause I used to work for Bristides. Some supermarkets only got 3 days worth of food. What you see on the floor, on the shelves, that's what's there. You go downstairs where they might have like a couple of like 10 gallons of milk downstairs, a whole bunch of toilet tissue, and a couple of canned goods. But mostly that's not worth 3 days.
Nope.
That's why every other day, every couple of days, there a new shipment comes in. So if you in a decent supermarket, they might have 3 days worth of food. But these bullshit local supermarkets,
right,
they might have like a 2 days worth of food, a day and a half worth of food. What you see on the shelf is what they got.
There's, and also speaking about these local spots, hey, it's out there that a lot of that food is garbage.
Yeah,
and I don't mean in the
spoiled. That's one.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
one more thing about
Exactly.
the supermarkets. That's why you always gotta check your dates.
Exactly.
A lot of the shit that you see in the supermarket be spoiled, man. I'm telling you, I used to work there. What they do sometimes, if the person who's leveling the floor, being changing the items and straightening everything out, they supposed to check for the date. But if you got somebody that don't give a fuck, he just push the shit that's spoiled to the back and put the new goods in front of it.
Yep.
So people be snatching shit up and not even checking the dates, and they wondering why it tastes funny, because it's spoiled, it's rotten.
So hold that. Okay. Give me that in Matthew 24 and start at 7.
Matthew 24.
Okay.
Alright, Matthew 24 and 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom.
Reminiscent to those one people standing up against another people, aka the race riots. You know, continue.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
Okay. Which is what's going on right now. Continue.
All these are the beginning of sorrows.
All right. Now hold that and go to 2 Ezra 16 and start at 18.
2 Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
Okay. Because these are visions that are being sent to the prophet Ezra. These are visions or holographic images, so to speak, or even straight up dreams that are showing him right before his eyes what are going to happen in the latter times. Okay? The beginning of sorrows, but as spoken of, read that again to slow it up.
2 Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows.
Okay, just like spoken of in St. Matthew's 24th chapter. Continue.
And great mournings.
And great mornings. There's not going to be smiles in that time when all hell's breaking loose. Continue.
The beginning of famine and great death.
Okay, not the ending. Not America's going to bounce back, but the beginning of famine. And what springs up from famine? Lack of food, great death. Continue.
The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear.
Okay, the beginning of wars. You like to think of civil wars, but guess what? There's going to be race wars, class wars, city wars, all types of wars, even leading up to the Third World War, but mainly to those race wars, or neighborhood or block or whatever, nation wars, race wars, you know. The powers, the legislative, or the cops, mind you, they're going to be in fear. Because at that time, no one's going to care about a badge, you know. No one's going to care about your title. No one's going to care about what weight you hold in this place, because at that time, there's going to be no more voting. Or what the so-called white man likes to coin anarchy. Continue.
The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come?
Alright, continue.
Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But continue.
Yeah, continue.
But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
Okay, all these things, famine, plague, tribulations, hard times, all these things is getting ready to come upon the society. But even as these things are happening, the wicked still ain't going to turn from their wickedness. Even when martial law has been instituted, the wicked ain't going to turn from their wickedness. Even when people are dying, they still not going to turn from their wickedness. All they're going to do is just try to seek the Most High to get out of their situation. And if they can't find the Most High, they're going to try to find somebody that can help save them. Whether it be a man or a woman, or whatever have you, whatever type of BS weapon they hold in their hands in that time. Continue.
Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case.
Because they looking at what's going on over the seas as far as the fluctuation of the market with the food, prices flying up and down like roller coasters. But over here in Babylon, America, victuals or your food sources made good cheap. What do you have? All these fast food restaurants that have like nothing but dollar menus of abominations. You can feed a family with less than 12 or less than 12 quarters, you know, for days of poison. They gonna think themselves to be in the good case. Continue.
And even then shall evils grow upon the earth,
Yep.
sword, famine, and great confusion.
And great confusion. Great confusion. Because as spoken of in Amos 8:11, what you have right now is spiritual counseling, or spiritual reproof, or spiritual rebuke, or your one-on-one time with who you ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ, trying to explain to you or warn you, prophesy, pro meaning before, psi meaning to say before what's going to happen, making known the signs of the times, making everything clear to you. But at that time, it's great confusion. Why? Because there is nobody to direct you what's going on. And when I say nobody, that's exactly how it's said, nobody. You think it's just going to be a thing where you can turn on the TV and Obama's going to direct you and coach you on how to get through the famine? When there's nobody working in that time, guess what? Electricity runs out. When there's nobody working in that time, guess what? There is no TV stations to be reporting about what's going on with American Idol or who's going to make it to the finals. It's going to be endless black or static, or what you like to call it, which is going to add to great confusion.
That's something.
Okay.
All right, because what the brother's stating is those things that are going to befall those that ain't right, the ungodly, which goes into one of the main topics that we always deal with is the 2/3 of Israel. All right. Now, this is regarding the elect of Israel that the Lord is going to basically be with when all these things happen. Ecclesiasticus chapter 34, verse 13. The spirit of those that fear the Lord shall live. Because the majority of our people, they have a zeal for the Lord, but not according to knowledge. They say they know God, they fear God, they love God, all right, but they don't have the knowledge or fear of the Most High according to knowledge. So when who is really talking about it has the spirit and fear of the Lord is the elect that really understand these scriptures, that have the knowledge with and understanding, knowing who they are, knowing who their power is, knowing the name of their power, which goes into us, the elect. Alright, Lord willing. Alright, whoso, it's like the spirit of those that fear the Lord shall live, right? Okay, the ones that fear the Lord is going to live in those days. While you niggas out here is going to be starving, caught up, alright, getting jacked up by this so-called white man, by these nations, okay, when martial law is instituted, when you're in a concentration camp, when you have to resort to eating your children, alright, the elect won't be going through those things.